This is the Division 3 matchup between Caltech and Centrale Supelec from France. Rafi here, waiting on their move. And there we go. We have an English opening against e5. e5 is actually what I like to play against the English as well. But Tampi is the board 3, and at 2100, this is a very strong French team for Division 3 especially. I think they were very close to clinching a top 2 spot in their group, but just ultimately didn't get it. The winner of this match will move on to play Florida tomorrow in the quarterfinals. And one of those two teams will move on to the semifinals and have guaranteed prize money in the top 3 divisions. So that's pretty nice. But one of these teams is going to have to get through their opponent first here today. Oh, is this a free pawn? I feel like that's a free pawn. If knight takes, queen takes, there's knight fork. So you cannot take this. You have to move the knight now. So yeah, I think d5 was an unfortunate move for black. Is queen here winning? Queen here looks really good to me. I don't know. What am I missing? What am I missing? Is that not a free piece? Oh, there's knight d7. That's a hard move to find. That's kind of tricky. Tricky move there. Still good for white though, for sure. So yeah, they go to c6, but now they're just down a piece. And now, can you take this guy? Yeah, take. And then even take with the queen, try to promote trades. Bishop here, I would move the d pawn. Or maybe the b3 pawn, no, but yeah. Now this is the thing, yep. That's in the SD pen. So Tampi's gonna smoothly sail to a victory here in round 1 against Rafi. So offering queen trade. I would just take this thing. Yep. Winning even more material. Really strong bishop. Rook here should be played. So trading off here first. And only then saving this. And now I would consider taking this, honestly. And rook c1 looks pretty good. Kevis lost their game to Emmet Tyke, by the way, in that UTRGV game. Yeah, I don't see any of the other players. Very interesting. Okay, knight hitting the rook on d6. How much material is Tampi up? Tampi is up a knight and 3 pawns. It's a lot. There goes 1 pawn. So now only up a knight and 2 pawns. So Rafi can slowly chip away I think d4 is probably pretty good. Nope. Snipe back, hitting the rook. The bishop. Rook lifts. Preventing knight b5, but only temporarily. So now pawn push. And now where does the rook go? And with d4, you have to anticipate d5. Okay, so pressure on h3. If king h2 to defend, there might be rook h6 doubling up there. Also, maybe you could just play h4 and be totally fine. No, going for g4, a very peculiar decision here from the leader of Centrale Supelec. Board 3, Tampy. So now rook n. 3 of black's pieces attacking that g4 pawn, but also creating space for the move h5 actually. So just bishop back to d7. No iffy. No problem. Actually, you could have taken on g4. Bishop takes g4, h takes g4, and then rook h takes g4. And there's no saving the bishop on g2. So black still has this threat. Maybe they see it now. I think black doesn't want to sacrifice and get the best of both worlds. They're just going to play h5. So rook lifts. f5 instead. Did Drexel B win? I think they did, Brent. I tried to update the brackets, so if you want to check those out, it's challenge.com/ all caps CCL S3D 8. Spyro says yes. Spyro is the record keeper. Look at this terrible bishop on g2. Look at this beautiful move, f4, from Rafi. So Rafi is like completely losing, but they're fighting on brilliantly. With beautiful pawn structure positioning. A rook kingside attack. So yeah, Drexel B will play Sacred Heart. Okay, so the second rook over bishop f1 is needed, or rook defend the bishop. So there's bishop f1. And now white wants to play e3. Yeah, Blue Sky, you don't have to apologize. But, you know, you could have messaged them in advance. Let them know. I'm just kidding. Okay, so whites should be able to convert this fairly easily. B2 is hanging. Doesn't matter, they push. Interesting. So now rook check. Oh, we got another game. So Math Apples has arrived. Jason Shi from Caltech, the top board. Playing the bottom board from Centrale Supelec. Although Jason's thinking a lot here. It's a lot of time to be thinking for that early on in the game. Okay, so it looks like this pawn should be running free. Rook looking at the pawn. Pawn defended. rook over, pawn push, rook back, pawn push again. Yep. And now you can go, okay, rook here, but I would have gone bishop to f5. I would rather have the bishop tied down to the pawn than my rook. So, okay, we can give rook check. Okay, taking here, interesting. Yeah. Okay, so now the bishop defends the pawn. King's running over. And now the rook is free to go. I mean, g1 to g8 seems pretty obvious. Okay, here, I guess they want to go to g8. Yeah, so now they're just gonna now they're gonna play up a rook. So rook check. Either rook, probably rook to c1 check is best. Nope, they're just gonna promote another pawn. Yep. Pawn push. There's rook d1 check. Is really nice. Just bringing the king in. So Tampy should win this one fairly easily. We got a game here. Math Apples has finally moved. They're down about a minute though, so it's time spent. I'm still not seeing all the players yet. We have two games missing. So Daniel and Ladize, Jeffrey Zidell. Daniel Israel. Yes, Tampy won their game. So what's happening in this one? FIDE Master developing the queen, attacking the knight. Really? Their board 4 is 2000? Man. So queen hit by the bishop, pawn takes, leaving the queens on, but double isolating the f pawns. So this is looking good for Jason. We have h4. I don't know if you would want to play h5 because black has the double g pawns. All right, rook h5, preventing h5, but also potentially doubling the rooks on the h file in order to win the material on h4. So second rook over. Yeah, rook here. So now, okay, defending this way is not very good. I don't know why. I mean, your rook has like no good moves from there. And maybe they can just flush you out with the move f5, although f5 does hang the g6 pawn. So it's not ideal for black. Yeah, they just defend the g6 pawn, and now f5 is on tap. Maybe queen g2. Queen g2. Queen to f2 instead. I don't understand queen f2. Now there's f5, yeah? Okay, f5. Now rook back. Oh, queen f2 defends h4. That's why. Okay, so probably thinking about g5 actually. G5, and I don't think Math Apples would take. Neither should white. There's also just rook g1, rook g2, just normal retreats. Although actually, if you go to f5 or g5, there's queen takes f4, yeah. So maybe black was better, but yeah, trading on h4, rook lifts, prevents the queen from getting pinned. Queen here, Keeping pressure on the light square diagonal, preventing g4 at least for the time being. Actually, the queen here prevents g4 as well. But yeah, rook here, attacking f3. Rook defends it. Yeah, it was unfortunate. Caltech's missing 2 players. There is another match I could stream right now, but this is definitely the higher. What was the other one? There's like 2 B teams or something, or less than that. Oh well. We'll stick to this one. We'll at least watch Math Apple's games. We'll see how they do. This is a tough Centrale Supelec team for sure. Okay, so rook down. Yep, Math Apple's just up 2 happy pawns. Queen over. Pawn push. Rook e2. Threatening e6, so rook back to defend. O to 3. Okay, yeah, right speed and floor to b, yeah. Okay, the rook's hit. Oh, the rook is hanging. Rook is hanging. Oh, wow. Was it really perpetual or something? Maybe they missed it. I don't know. That looked like a hanging rook to me. But yeah, maybe afraid of the queen checks. Speaking of, here's a queen check. King over, only move. I mean, there was maybe king c4, but this is definitely a safer move. So, let's see, pawn push. I don't know about this one. Can we get, well, okay, there's queen a4. Okay, true. You do give up a pawn, though. Okay, there's this pawn that's running. King over, rook back. Rook behind the pawn, and now the other pawn's going to join in. Yeah, this is going to be game over very soon. So now you got to go rook g1, and then they push f2. Maybe you don't go rook g1. Ooh, rook g1. Maybe, was there a better? No, I don't think there was anything better. So just grabbing up the pawns, trying to flag Math Apples maybe, but Math Apples should have mate very soon. Yeah, queen check and rook mate. Nicely done from the top board from Caltech. Tying things up at 1 point apiece, but Caltech is missing 2 players. So who they're missing is the bottom 2 boards from Caltech. So have to keep an eye out for them. Yeah, so I don't see any of the other ones. Okay. So that's a point for the top 2 boards. So first round 1 to 3. Here we got Rafi versus the bottom board, Quan An. Just Quan. 94 QA. So we got a fried liver attempt with knight g4 or g5, and now knight to a5. Followed by d3. This is literally what I used to play. Man, Rafi and I got the same openings. They've been studying my games. A GG from Blue Sky 6 to Blue Sky 6. White d3 over bishop e5 check. I couldn't tell you. All I know is that that's what I played. I didn't justify my moves. I don't know. I think like so these players about 2000, right? Average out or so, high 1900 average between these 2 players. I think a lot of times when you play knight g5, you really want to take on f7, but they never take back on d5, right? All the players know the theory. So they go knight a5 because that's the theory. And they know bishop e5 check, right? Because that's the theory. So when white plays something like bishop to d3 or pawn to d3, you throw off black from their knowledge, I guess, their theory. Maybe. So, I don't know. I like 94. Is that a bad move? Go Quan from Blue Sky. So knight develops to c3, black just castles. White can castle if they so choose. If they so please. There's also bishop e3, bishop d2, knight e4. There's g4, h4. That's looking pretty aggressive. Honestly, I would do it. I would do it. Why not? You're going to castle queenside. Like, you're totally safe over there. g4. Send it. Send it, Rafi. Come on. No, what is this? What is this passivity? a3 doesn't help you. So now knight takes c4, pawn takes. So, I mean, one nice thing about this opening is that you're up a pawn, right? Like, wouldn't we all love to just be up a pawn? I know I do. Okay, so knight recaptures, hitting the bishop. The knight's hit. We do have the trade of bishops, so opposite color bishops in this endgame. Black could play e4 right now. They decide for f4. I feel as though it's a... I don't know. I like opening things up. I think that maybe e4 was fine, but maybe not. What was my original plan? I don't know. But yeah, like the pawn on f3 is pinned, right? So you can't just take right away. So, anyways, bishop finally comes out to d2. I'm not sure where the bishop wants to go. Maybe c3, but this wall of black pawns are pretty strong. We got Math Apples versus Tampy. This is the two leaders. Tampy, the captain, and Math Apples also the captain. Board 1 versus board 3. Let's go back to Rafi's game versus Quan On. They've played b5. Got a couple French viewers. Welcome if you're tuning in from France. You guys got any French emotes? I'll listen to some music while I'll be playing. Do you have something for me? I personally don't have music on these scenes, so I don't know what I should recommend. Do you listen to French music? You probably do. How about who's it? Rue? No, who am I thinking? Wait. Now I have to find some French songs. Que veux-tu? By Yell. Yeah, do you listen to Yell at all? Yelle. Okay, so this game, Quan is up a pawn. And I am easily entertained. Quan up a pawn. Nice. I like queen f5 for white if given the opportunity. Although it looks like they might just take on d6. Nope, so pawn pushes. Again, f5 is pretty good. Yep, so this hits the bishop. This hits the e5 pawn. I don't see how you save both. Not seeing it. I think Rafi's gonna be getting the material back and perhaps initiative as well. So now queen takes e5. The d pawn is isolated and weak. Queen infiltrate, trying to get a trade. If queen takes, pawn takes, the pawns are reunited. Deadly in the center. So what does white do? Maybe queen to c7. Hitting the rook, hitting the pawn, hitting the bishop. Queen c7, you gonna find it? Rafi, you gonna play it? Go Tampy's playing the FIDE Master. What's happening in this one? The game looks fairly even. Knight was hitting the queen, so the queen drops back. Tampy develops the bishop, and now we have c5 from Math Apples here, clamping down on the c6 pawn, blocking in the bishop on b7. So this is a pretty solid move, hitting the queen. Either queen move or pawn takes. And you know if pawn takes, they're definitely going to take back with the pawn. So queen steps back. Rook e1, just putting the rook on a semi-open file, and also perhaps anticipating bishop to a6 with tempo on the rook. So white centralizes both rooks, playing this beautifully. You love to see this kind of development. I mean, you've got the textbook fianchetto, knight on f3, 2 rooks on the open, or the center. Oops, I didn't mean to click on whatever it was that I just clicked on. I have no idea what just happened. That's okay. How's Rafi doing again? Rafi's still up a pawn. Or was Rafi down a pawn? Material was even. Trade of queens. Trade of pawns here. Takes, takes, takes. Okay, so that's what Quan missed. But it's still probably dead drawn with the opposite color bishops. Although white's the only one with pass pawn. Pawn put, you push this guy for sure. Blue sky, you're too kind. Thank you for playing. You guys do all the hard work. I sit here half asleep. Yeah, without you guys, this wouldn't exist. So, okay, we do see bishop a6. So the rook preemptively dodging this tempo. Yeah, this knight's really well placed, actually. Hard to dislodge. Offering bishop trade. We might want to put the knight on c4 and then put it onto d6. I like this idea for white. So, yep, there's the trade. And now, are we going to see the knight c4 to d6 maneuver? I don't know. Pawn push, taking away knight c4. Tampy knew. So Math Apple is trying to break down. Saying, please take me on a4. Tampy says, no, I'm going to just reinforce this pawn right here with another pawn. So now the a file is completely open. So Jason takes it right away. Black follows suit, offering a trade of rooks. This knight's a little bit better than this knight because this knight has no pawns that can kick it out. This knight technically does. Okay, so queen opposite the queen. Somewhat interesting. Jason just under 2 minutes. Let's check in with Rafi. He's under 1 minute. So what's happening here? So white is up the outside passer, but they're promoting on the wrong color square. What's up, Wysichix? How's it going? Okay, so now probably bishop move. Or Just bring the king back. Trying to create space for that pawn. So pushing the pawn onto a dark square where the light square bishop can't attack it. Notice how all the pawns and bishops are like that. So we have bishop to d8 defending the a pawn. And now the king is going to run its way over. It's going to just mosey his way on over to the h pawn and say hello. And now this light square bishop is thinking, well, I got to defend that pawn somehow. Maybe they're not thinking that. I don't know. But white should win this game. I'm very tired, dude. I'm sorry. But we got 30 minutes. Oh, they're just pushing the f pawn. Well, okay, pawn there. Okay, you save your bishop though. Bishop e7 or yeah, probably just bishop e7 and then king f4. Oh, not even. They're just promoting. Okay, never mind. Now this is better. You have a queen now. Okay. Queen d6 fork. There it is. Arcade animation type. On for the pieces. Okay, so Rafi getting a point for Caltech. Let's see. How's Tampy doing against Math Apples? So we got a rook on d5. What happens if rook takes d4? I don't know. Oh, we just pushed g5. Yeah, cuz f7 is hanging. That's what Jason's saying. Saying I know my d4 pawn is hanging, but I'm going to just remove your knight from the equation and take on f7. So that is Math Apple's plan here. So the queen steps up to offer protection over f7, defending f7. But the pawn doesn't care, kicks the knight out anyways. And now what is the question? So queen coming over, or rook coming. So probably rook a8 is a threat, which is a beautiful move. Rook a8 is the threat, pinning the knight to the king. And if queen takes on a8, we have queen takes f7. So we have the f pawn pushed to f6, defending f7 that way. Although this does create weaknesses. There's pawn takes, either knight takes or pawn takes. I don't know what's better. Okay, so now is the d4 pawn genuinely hanging or not? I don't know. Good question. So queen over, attacking e6. That would come with check. So probably the queen should defend it, but the queen's also watching over rook a8 check. So queen goes here, defending against both. But perhaps, oh man, if that queen on c8 was actually a rook, we would be able to play rook a8, which would be super beautiful. Actually, okay, so there's queen takes, e6, queen takes, and then rook a8, which would work if not for the queen and knight both controlling e8. So, yeah, I mean, Jason's got a lot of tricks up his sleeves here. He's just going rook a7. He's been hanging the d4 pawn for forever, but it doesn't matter. It just really doesn't matter because white's pieces are super active. Black's pieces are tied defensively. So black finally goes ahead and takes. But now we can go queen g2. Yeah, just threaten mate. Pawn push. We could probably sacrifice the knight. Yeah, knight takes g6. Beautiful move here. And the threat is just knight e7 fork. Also, just any discovery. If pawn takes, queen takes is forced mate. So rook here, but now knight e7. King has to move. Yeah, we have resignation. So Jason, 2 for 2 against the bottom two boards. Tying up the score, but unfortunately, I think that the top two boards are going to get 2 more forfeit wins. Rook a8 was winning. Probably a lot of things were winning. So I'm just going to update their score. Because I don't think that the bottom two boards are going to be showing up. Yeah, they're still not there, which is unfortunate. Okay. So waiting for round 3, I suppose. So honestly, though, the fact of the matter is that Caltech's only missing the bottom two boards, so it's like it's not as big a deal as missing your top two boards. That would be terrible. But yeah, maybe the top two boards from Centrale Supelec both would have been 2 and 2 anyways. Right? So the score is 5-3, honestly not that bad for missing half your team. But basically, I guess the difference is that Tampio's board 3 took down board 2 from Caltech, Rafi. So, it is round 3 about to commence. We're waiting on the players to start, unless they're done, but I don't think they are. This would be Caltech's last game if they lose, and in that case, I thank them for playing. Congratulate them on a good season. We got Math Apples and Blue Sky now. So Blue Sky's been waiting patiently. Now his first opponent, Math Apples, 2400 FIDE Master. Blue Sky is 2300. The board 2 from Centrale Supelec. I think it'd be cool if we set up a like a exhibition match between Franche Comte and Centrale Supelec. Unless they're in the same division, which I don't think they are. So Franche Comte is in D5. Yeah, this team is in D3. Although they could still play each other. That'd be fun. We should do exhibition matches, perhaps. Like teams across divisions that couldn't play. Because we have no interdivision play as of now. I don't know if we really want it or need it, but there's like some Indian schools that are in different divisions that they don't get to play. Drexel versus Temple, question mark. Is that another interdivisional matchup? Yeah, we need like these proximity matches, you know. Fuel the rivalry. Yeah, we need like a Chicago tournament. We got Northern Illinois, Northwestern, UI Chicago, and U Chicago. They could do a quad match. Although I think U Chicago would probably do really well with a team in D1. Addy is noob. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. So I'm receiving word that in Division 10, UNLV did lose to Howard. I just think that they were missing maybe some players or something. I don't know. Okay, so knight d5. Can we take on e4? No, you lose e7, but that would just be a fair trade. So just capturing on d5. So now how to take back? Probably with the e pawn. E takes d5. So Jason takes with the c pawn. And now black has a 3-on-2 majority on the queen side. This bishop on g7 is doing a good job of staring at these pieces. This bishop's tied down at the moment, so probably going to need a rook move. Maybe they didn't want the bishop to come out this way. So that could be good reasoning. Your d10 bracket's still perfect. So who do you have between? Did you have Northeastern D beating UTRGV, or did you have it the other way? Because I think Northeastern. Hold on, let me check that score. Okay. Both sides with the bishop pair still. I like white. You know, white's probably got a little slightly better center. Okay, there goes the b2 pawn though. So I don't know. Maybe I was wrong. I like bishop here. Computer likes bishop a3, which keeps an eye over c1. So now we could maybe potentially go rook c1. Okay, bishop here instead. Okay. Hitting the rook. Rook here probably would be my guess. Hit the bishop. And then what? Bishop to b6. Pressure on the c pawn. That's probably it. Okay, so final score Northeastern 10.5, 4.5 TRGV. So let me update that as well. And Northeastern will move on to play against Wake Forest. So Spiros has the perfect D10. He predicted the Cornell upset over Berkeley, as well as the Howard upset over UNLV-C, that's pretty impressive, honestly, to get both of those. So yeah, we have bishop b6, and bishop b6 is going to be followed by rook to c1. Rook f to c1. Rook f c1, yep. And now, how do you defend c5? I don't think you do. I don't think you do. I don't see it. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Probably black needs some counterplay somehow by trying to trade off these center pawns. So yep, they do this move, which makes sense. And now does black take, or does white take on c5? Bishop takes c5. I would do that. That seems like a move. You have the 7 beating the 2 seed next round. 7. You have Temple C taking down Akron. That's your bias. And hey, I respect it. I'm biased too. Okay, pawn push. There is bishop takes, and then bishop takes c5. So very, very interesting. I think that like if the rook moves, then probably white might play d6, but they don't. Oh, rook here. Gosh, this is such a beautiful move. There's e takes d5. E takes d5. Don't save the rook, just let them take. You take back, and now you have these 2 pawns in the center, which isn't that bad, right? I mean, couple pawns for an exchange, no big deal. The c5 pawn is hanging though, technically. So yeah, Caltech's team is only their top 2 players today. It's very unfortunate, but it is what it is. Okay, so now take here, and then take here. Or do we take here first? Maybe rook takes c5 first. I think that's a good idea. Yep. So Jason agrees. Taking on c5, just winning more material. Really forcing black to do something. White doesn't want to take on d6 and help the bishop recapture on d6. Instead, he just wants to keep taking the material. So Blue Sky is technically up right now, but he's going to lose something. Down 2 minutes as well. This is looking tough for Blue Sky. So king up. Rook bc1, just double up. Oh, capturing here, there's bishop takes now. $40 for Blue Sky. Blue Sky was asking what music to listen to. I should have recommended Blue Sky by Electric Light Orchestra. Mr. Blue Sky, I should say. Maybe we're watching Mr. Blue Sky right now. Okay, the B pawn is hanging. Bishop takes b7. Bishop takes b7. Okay, that was hanging too. Whoops, that's even better, probably. Okay, now bishop takes b7. Just don't do back. Oh no, queen. The bishop covers d1. Okay, I forgot about that. I forgot about that. My bad. Okay, now you gotta watch out for rook a1. Does Jason, the FIDE master, blunder back rank mate? No. He plays rook e1. He sees it. He sees it all. Okay, rook b6. No. Bishop check. So the king has to venture deeper into the enemy territory. I mean, you could even do rook takes f7 if you wanted to. Bishop back. Rook g8. Rook g8. Is there mate? Pawn push. So now they have a flight square. But they're also threatening h4. h4 kind of nasty. h4, there's king f5. g4. Is that a thing? Don't know. So black is trying to hold on for dear life. Jason's 0.8 wait, how do you end with 0.8 seconds if there's 2-second increment? Can you explain? Okay, so they gained 4 seconds on that last move. That is so unfortunate. Did they pre-move because they had no time? Okay, so Math Apple's undefeated still. I'm just not paying attention to that clock. I don't know. It's added at the beginning of the turn? I don't know about that. I don't know. I feel like it adds it at the end of the turn. I think that was just maybe a little glitch or something. I don't know. Okay, what on earth is happening here? Knight takes pawn. Excuse me. Rook takes, and now your rook and knight are forked. Dude, knight takes b4. What a baller move. That is a baller move. Threatening back rank mate. So you win that pawn. You get the knight too? Jeez. Filthy move. Knight takes b4 is so nice. So nice. This is the top player. Jean Meunier Pion. No idea if I... Someone from France. Give me like a score out of 10. Jean Meunier... Meunier... No, Meunier... No. Jean... Meunier Pion. They won their game against Rafi with a sick tactic. He says good game. So let's see. We need to give the bottom two boards their points, I guess. 2 and 1. And in the 4th round, if the Caltech players don't show up, that's gonna be that for the match. You're not French. It's 10 out of 10. Okay, good. That's what I thought too. All right. So they are down to 3 rounds. They have 1 round left. If the last 2 players from Caltech show up and they sweep, they will go to overtime. But the odds of that happening are very, very slim. So, all right, here we go. Start of the 4th round. We got the 2 top boards going at it. Both players 2400. Jean board with the white pieces. We got a Caro Khan advanced. Bishop out. No h4. We got bishop e2. Yeah, bishop outside the pawn chain. Castle early for Jean. Man. I don't know any French. I know oui is yes. I know bonjour is hello. I think that's it. So capture on d4. Pawn takes. There's Tampy. Tampy, the team leader for Centrale Supelec. So, okay, pawn takes, and Jean is thinking. Taking with the knight. This hangs the e pawn, no? They take here, though. I wonder, could you not have taken this? What happens? I guess you take this thing. So, saving the bishop, taking here. Pawn recaptures. Both players at 4.5 minutes. Game is still very early on. White has already castled. Black is a couple moves shy. Yeah. Alliance? La France? I don't. Las. Dude, I shouldn't be. What does that mean? Ayent. Oh. No idea. Okay. So this actually threatens to trap the queen. Bishop c2 would be a nasty smother. Is Jean gonna see it? Both sides at 415 apiece. I mean, bishop here. Queen out. Okay. Queen out. There's still this, but there's that. So offering queen trade. Queen takes, knight takes. There is bishop here I like. But maybe not. Or queen takes, then bishop here. So do you take with the pawn or the knight? So taking with the knight. Now there's bishop check. Kicking the knight out first. Knight here maybe. Knight back. Go France. Nice. Okay, a6. So as black, do you take? Do you push? They push. Let's check out Mr. Blue Sky. Very safe king. Look at this. He's got a whole army in front of him. So knight back to push f4 maybe from Blue Sky. There it is. And now Rafi just playing in the center. Pawn to d5. Trying to blast things open here. There's always queen check you gotta watch out for. I don't know how black could ever take advantage of this. We are the only French team? No, it's not true. In your division, maybe, but there's Centrale Supelec and there's Université de French Compt. Like Science et Techniques or something. I don't know. There are 2 French teams in the Collegiate Chess League. So Blue Sky is up a pawn, but the pawns are doubled and isolated. And it looks like black's going to try to get this pawn back. Let's check back in with the top boards here. How's our match going? What's up, Grizius Reda? Thank you for the follow. Welcome. Rook infiltrating on the second rank. Everything's defended by the bishop. The knight moves. I guess it was under attack twice. Only defended once. Now the king steps up out of the pen. Rook a4 hitting the bishop. Actually, the bishop... Where's the bishop go? Here. Knight takes. So king here, getting out of the pen, but blocking the bishop's retreat. This is a good move from John. So now Jason's thinking. He goes back to a5. Now knight. Ooh. Knight a1. Hitting the rook and also clearing the path for b4. Nasty move. Maybe we take this and go here. Knight a1 is normally a terrible move. You never want to play knight a1. This knight a1, beautiful move. The problem with taking here is after takes, there's rook here. So we win the exchange. This rook is hit. Steps back. Bishop here. Got a lot of fans for John. Jean Meunier Pion. Up the exchange against the FIDE master. Top board from Caltech. Their team leader. Jason Shi. Let's check in with the board 2. The board 2s. So, blue sky's got the bishop pair. Same number of pawns. This pawn is isolated. Blue sky denies the queen trade. Brings the queen back. Wants to keep the queens on. Pressure on the knight. It's defended twice. Knight steps up. There's okay, knight develops. Blue sky under a minute. Rafi's got 3 minutes. And perhaps a better pawn structure. There goes a pawn. Knight takes. Queen takes comes with check. Rook takes. So Rafi is up a pawn and up over 2 minutes. Only 45 seconds for blue sky. And this is quite the mismatch in rating. But they're both board 2s. Rafi's playing this really well. Let's check back in with our top boards. So king is on the run here. White's looking really good. Up the exchange. These bishops are really powerful, though, so maybe Jason can get something going. Bring the knight over. Dranks, you guys have a GM on your team, and he didn't play? Is he going to play next season? Did he late register? Knight here. Only 48 seconds. So both French players low on time. Bishop here trying to trade. Take. The rooks are staring at each other. 49 seconds to a minute 15. Let's check in over here. 2 minutes to 30 seconds. Rook left. Knight d5. Bishop check. King move. King f1. Bishop back. Defended by the pawn tucking in. This is a really nice bishop right here. Bishop check. You want to go here, but then you have this move. If you go here or here, there's discoveries. This could be dangerous. This could be dangerous. King f7 might be the best move. I think you're gonna have to weather the storm. I don't know what discovery there is with this guy. Rook check. Rook d4 check. Rook here. Oh, but there's bishop here now. Oh, but there's takes. What if there was rook d4 is my question. Rook d4. Discovery. I don't know. I guess you still go here, and if they do this, then it's hanging there. So trade of bishops. So knight versus bishop. Rook defends the pawn. Rook wants to come here with the pen. And you can't go here because of the bishop. So now the knight's hit again. 14 seconds. Wait, rook here, rook here. Only move, defending this. Next is king here. Pawn push, defended by this. Now king here. Gotta move the rook. Don't go here. You get forked. Here instead. Can't move your rook. You gotta move. Okay, stepping up here. Bishop here. There's takes. 8 seconds. King here. No, rook back. Now there's knight check. No. King keeps going forward. Okay, back. There's another check. No, there's check here now. Check here looks so good. King up. King check. King here. King back. Rook check. Or takes with check. 9 seconds to a minute 38. Here, king. Okay. Check. King here. That's a check. 10 seconds. Let's look at the top boards. What's happening here? Looks like John's gonna be winning something. John looks better for sure. Pawn push is a big threat, and then promote. Back to this one. Looks like we're trying to get in with checkmate. Pawn push. There's check. King here. Bishop here. Oh man, we just lost a rook. Rafi played too fast, man. Rafi played way too fast. After rook check, you gotta go to d2. You gotta go to d2. You need a king d2, and he is trying to play too quickly. So that was a huge mistake. Oh, the rows are keep going. All right, push knight. Dude, what is happening? Check. I think maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Check. Go here. Now rook here. Okay. Okay. Pushing the pawn. Oh, here there's rook check here no matter what. Here, push, push, push. Dude, white actually might not be winning this still. Rook here now. What the heck, dude? All right. That was it. That was the last chance. Math. What happened to this one? Okay, so king here, take this. Pawn push, the same idea that they had. Pawn push. Here, 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 here. Bishop here, no. King here. King here, no. What? Sacrifice? Oh my god. Pawn push. Wow. Math apples. Flawless. 4 for 4. Taking down the top board from Centrale Supelec. We got one game left. Looks like White's going to get this very soon. Pawn push. Now bishop mate. Nice. Nicely done. King h2 would have been a little bit better, delaying the inevitable. But Blue Sky gets the win. Improves to 3 out of 4, I think. So, yeah, you're a good player. So that's the match. I think that Centrale Supelec, I don't know the finals. Do I need to give an extra point to some people? Yeah, maybe Tampi and Quan get 2 more points. So like 3 and 2 or something like that. So final score 11-5. Centrale Supelec, who will move on to the quarterfinals match and play against Florida in Division 3. So good luck to Centrale Supelec. Congrats to Caltech. I mean, Caltech missing 2 players but still getting 5 points, with Math Apples getting undefeated 4 for 4. So really good performance from him. Hopefully they can come back next season bigger and stronger. Hopefully with a little bit more consistency in terms of players showing up. But still, congrats to them for at least making the playoffs. They weren't eliminated until today, and only at the hands of the Centrale Supelec team. Very strong team for Division 3.